Gen Z is getting fired from their corporate jobs at an alarming rate, and teachers everywhere are not surprised. So let's talk about it. This article, recently shared in Fortune magazine, states that nearly 6 out of 10 employers have already had to fire their Gen Z workers that they hired fresh out of college. And according to data cited in this article, nearly three-quarters of employers reported that Gen Z hires were not satisfactory employees for their companies. So, what challenges exactly are these employers having? According to the data, they say that employers are struggling with Gen Z employees arriving to work on time, managing their time, including showing up timely for work and turning work in to higher ups on time, wearing appropriate clothing at the office, and using office appropriate language. And if you're an educator, all of these things should be setting off alarm bells because these are the exact same things that many students in school are struggling with right now. The article concludes by essentially calling out colleges and college students, stating that college students are wholly unprepared to enter the workforce, and somehow, in some way, standards and stepping stones need to be implemented to fill the gaps that students need in order to enter the workforce. And again, if you're an educator, a lot of these things should be sounding familiar because many of the things that I listed are basic life skills that many students, kindergarten through 12th grade, are lacking. Like I've stated many times on this channel, if these students cannot learn basic life skills like arriving to work on time, turning in work on time, dressing appropriately, and using appropriate language in appropriate settings, they are not going to survive in the workforce. Teachers, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments.
All right. So thoughts. I'm gonna start with Angelica on this one. What's your thoughts on bosses firing Gen Z grads at alarming rates? Apparently, what's your thoughts on that?
I mean, I didn't know this was happening in real time. Um, I don't I don't really have anything to say because I'm more curious of like why it's happening. Like, why
Do
are
you
they
see
just
do you see any differences between Gen Z and other generations as far as like how they approach the workforce?
Yeah, I do feel like the younger generations are they're a little unserious, but how serious were we when we were their age?
I mean, apparently
Like,
more
how
than
much
them.
I
Apparently more.
I don't know, like, it just kinda sounds like well, the reasons that
Have,
she
have,
listed was more so immaturity, and I feel like as you get older, you're gonna get more mature? I don't know. I feel like I just need
okay.
more
So you don't see it as an issue. Okay. All right. Fair. Fair.
well, no,
Fair. Okay.
I
So
don't see that it's an issue. I'm saying I'm kinda curious of, like, why is this happening? Because I don't really
okay.
know the issues, like, I wanna know
Fair.
more
Fair.
about,
Fair.
like, why.
All right. What's your thoughts, Chels? What's your thoughts on this topic?
I mean, it kinda doesn't surprise me. I feel like that generation is very, like, people need to do what works for me versus, like, taking school and work seriously.
Right. Right. I agree. I agree. Fair. Fair. What's your thoughts, Nicole?
I'm dying. I have such a big opinion on this.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy
What?
on it.
Okay, like I work for a big company. They have a big push on like they call them campus hires, whatever. They hire kids out of college. I work with a lot of them. I see this all the time. It drives me crazy sometimes because and maybe not a lot. I don't know. I feel like a big portion of them I don't know, like, they definitely have a totally different work ethic. I mean, they have a different work ethic than I do, like, it's like, they're coming in, they're working their 8 hours and they're leaving and they don't even punch time clock. Like they're salaried. It's like, like God forbid they do any more. They take forever to like act on things that they're supposed to. You send them an email, they email you back 2 days. I don't know. And it's crazy because they push for them so much. Like it's supposed to be like, oh, it's such a great program. They bring these kids in. They think just because they're fresh out of college and they promise them all these things and they're going to move them up X amount of times over the next 5 years and they get promotions. I mean, and like there's other people, i.e. myself, that have a college degree. Okay, you didn't end up there right out of college, but I'm obviously older. And like there was a point in time where there was like a campus hire kid, younger, like that generation that we're talking about, that was at my place for, I don't know, almost 5 years less than I was, had way less experience than me, and I found out they were making more money than me. Blew my mind. Like literally blew my mind. But I'm surprised that they're saying they're getting fired. I feel like it's like impossible to fire anybody. What? So like, I mean, at least they're like chopping heads where they need to because it's not right. Like these kids are like, they're like entitled. Like they just think like, oh, well, I went to college and you went to college and we all know what happens at college. Like we know what you did. Like you partied. Okay. You got passing grades. You should be lucky that you ended up in this position that you're in. And it's like, they just like, they get shit handed to them and they still don't act right. It drives me nuts.
All right. So listen, so let me say this before I say my point. So there's an article that came out maybe like a week ago that said that Gen Z was the first generation to not be as smart as their parents. Every other generation before them were smarter than their parents. Like we've learned, and like
I'm not
progressed
raising
and
my
did all.
hand at me. I'm raising my hand. I have a question.
Okay, and what's your question? Go ahead.
You. I'm very smart. I just had a question.
Go ahead. What's the question?
So, not really so much of a question, just more of a point, because I literally just had a conversation about this earlier in the day where I feel like they're just not as smart. Like, they really don't have to try as hard as we did. I think the premise, we were talking about a library, and we were saying that, we were younger, we had to go research stuff in the library and encyclopedias and comprehend it, read it, and comprehend it. Whereas now kids can just type into Chat GPT, is what it's called. So, I just thought that was funny, what you just said. 'Cause it made me think of a conversation I had literally a few hours ago.
Facts. No, this is good. I agree with you with that. But yeah, no, I mean, I think okay. So I think there's two reasons to blame for like Gen Z's lack of professionalism, however you want to phrase it. I think one is technology, right? Angelica, you just mentioned that technology, ChatGPT, you could write a whole page, you could write a whole paper. This wasn't like that in our, like when we were in college, right? Like we couldn't just say, hey, tell me a story about, what's the Great Gatsby. Write me a paper about the Great Gatsby, make it 5 pages, and ChatGPT will write that shit for you. And you can just copy that shit, put it on a paper, print it. You feel me? Like, or you could be like, oh, make it 2 pages, and they will do that shit too, right? We didn't have that ability. Like now I plagiarized back then, but I had to be clever about it. I had to like go to the library and be like, okay, get different sources about the same thing and be like, oh, I'm gonna take this paragraph here, word this my way, but it's the same idea that the author made. Like you had to like put effort into it. It wasn't just like some, oh well, I'm gonna just go snap my fingers real quick and go make this happen, right?
And they can't tell. Teachers can't tell. I have a family member that's a high school teacher, and he said one of his biggest struggles is he can't catch people plagiarizing with ChatGPT. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you did that, if you plagiarized back in our time, like, the teacher could tell, and like, you
there
would
was
be
a way
called
to
out
tell.
for it. He said it's so difficult.
Yeah. So I would say technology is one, but two, I think all y'all on this panel would agree. Listen, all these kids think that they're going to be entrepreneurs. They don't think that they need to like they don't think that they need to work and learn these skills in order to work in a company, because they all think they're going to be their own entrepreneurs. They don't need to do this stuff because they're going to be independent millionaires once they post 3 things on Instagram.
Can I tell you something?
But they don't think they need a boss.
Let me tell you something.
You want to be an entrepreneur, Nicole?
No, this happened to me 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I'm driving in the car, and my 14-year-old said, "What did you go to school for?" I said, "Management marketing." He goes, "Why'd you do that?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Why didn't you just go to school to like own your own business?" And I was like, what? And then like later, he said it again. He brought it up and he's like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go to school and I'm going to own my own business and I'm going to be like a millionaire.
It's social media.
Yeah, it is.
What?
You know, this generation is cooked because they don't think that they need to.
Mhm.
So when I was in high school, I was like, yo, I need to learn these skills because eventually I'll have a job, right? My
Mhm.
first thing was I'll go to the NBA. I realized I wasn't good enough to go to the NBA. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Trash.
So I started working at McDonald's, right? I think it's sophomore year of high
That's a
school.
close second.
I promise. Listen, I promise you, I was like, yo, I realized very early in life, I was like, yo, because I was throughout middle school, I was killing it. I was the man. They'd be like, oh, that's Ty right there. Oh shit, that's the dude from whatever that school. I used to be crushing it. As soon as I went to high school, I realized the difference between people who were born with this fucking innate talent and people who, like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, listen,
Had to practice.
I am never going to be as good as this guy, right? And
He's
I was like,
wait till you see me flip a burger. I'm not knocking you. I worked at McDonald's also. It was my first job.
so I was like, yo, I was like, listen, I got to start saving money. I got to get chicks the different way. I got to go buy a car. I got to go to school with my car. I was a sophomore with a car. Chicks looking at me like, all right. Well, you ain't on basketball team, but you got a car. So that puts you above the other people. Right? Like, so I was, I mean, there was a ranking system, right? But no, man, like, they don't think that they need to learn these skills. Like I remember struggling with algebra when I was in high school, and I would have to leave school early to meet my teacher to learn, you know what I mean, different techniques. Whatever. Okay, this is how you get a passing grade, right? They don't need to do that shit because they don't think that they need to learn these skills because they're all going to be
No
social
child
media
left
millionaires.
behind.
Well, I
So
feel like
because of
that's
that, I'm like, yo, go ahead, Charles.
No, I was gonna say, I just feel like that's what's crazy too, is like even like classes I took as a younger kid, like just don't exist anymore. Like you
Yeah.
don't learn
You, like,
cursive anymore. Like
I'm
there's
just
no
gonna say
home
cursive.
economics. There's no like
Cursive.
it's not a thing anymore. And I'm like, not saying, that has much, but like I don't know. I just feel like
I
there's a
don't
lot
know.
going
And
on
I think,
in the school system that like they're just not even learning like basics to like get them into the real world anymore.
and this is crazy, but I think COVID was really bad for like all
Mhm.
those digital years or whatever.
Yeah.
My son is in 8th grade. Literally last night in the car, the boys were talking amongst themselves, and he's 14. He's in honors classes, 8th grade, going to high school next year. He said he never learned the vowels in order because my younger son was like, "Oh, well, you know what the vowels are, right? Like A-E-I-O-U." He goes, "No, I never learned that. Like, I never learned that, like, in that order. Like, I had to teach myself." And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, he was in the heart of COVID. Like, he was, I forget what grade, like during COVID, but it was literally like 2 years where they're home and I'm at work. So they're like on the computer, like teaching themselves or trying to follow along with this teacher. Like, that was bad. That was really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think we cooked. I could get into this.
They're
We can get into a whole different conversation, but I think we cooked. I don't think social security exists for us when we get that age. I don't think it exists because there are so many people. I got relatives and shit like that. They really think that they don't need to work and work regular jobs. They're all going to be social media millionaires. Like they really do think this shit, yo. Like all the women think that they're going to be models, right? Social media models, and all the guys think that they're going to post something and someone's gonna find it and they're gonna be like, yo, you gotta be a millionaire. You right now, it's a strange thing, yo. Like it's like this is like
But it's not
when
common to be a social media influencer. Like
but they don't see it that way. Like
But
they really
look
don't.
how young it starts. Remember the kid that played with toys and became a million, Ryan? What
oh
was his
on
name? Ryan?
YouTube. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
Ryan's World or whatever. Like
Mhm.
the
There
kid,
are
and
people
that's
who
what my
eat
kids
on
used to watch that
YouTube.
when they were little. And like this kid's rich because he opened up toys and played with toys for the internet, like for the world to see. Like
I
that
forgot
is
about that. Yeah.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. So I mean, yeah, I don't even know. I literally don't know what it is.
It was
but
crazy. And then they had his toys came out. They were in Target. Like that was the toy that my kid always wanted, some big egg. And it was like $60. And they opened it up and it was just like cheap plastic shit in there. Like the dumbest stuff ever. But it was Ryan's World. So it was like the biggest deal. The kid's like a millionaire, billionaire. I don't
Well,
know.
my argument is we're cooked. We're getting dumber as as shit goes on. So I mean, like we got to figure something out because there's bunch of dumbasses in America right now that don't think that that think that, you know, chat GPT will think for them and will write a paper for them and just basically live life for them. And that's not a good thing because, listen, I work at the Social Security office. I've mentioned that before on the podcast. I come across a lot of grown ass people that can't read and kind of slide me a letter like, okay, well, can you read this to me? I'll be looking at them like, I'm not fucking reading this shit. I'll be like, I mean, I can give you some bullet points if you want, but like, I'm not gonna be. I'll be like, listen, yeah, you got it. You all right? They changed your benefits from $1,000 to $700. You got to talk to the state as to why. I'm not telling you. I'm not reading the rest of this shit. Like, and I'm not. Listen, I'm not reading no shit for no grown ass person. And I'm sorry to tell you, like, I'm not here for that shit. And I come across that shit all the time. There's a lot of people who can't read, and I would imagine, and our literacy rates are dropping as a country. They're like, the motherfuckers can read less now than they could when we were kids.
Are these old people? Are they old?
But the people I come across are typically old, like in their 50s and shit like that. But I would imagine that it's going to increase by 1,000% with these Gen Z motherfuckers. When they get 50, they're going to be just genuine dumbasses. They're going to be like, okay, well, I don't know. What is this, a K or a symbol? Like, I don't know what this is. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Yikes.
I think this is why they feel like so entitled, like things should just be handed to them. Like, here's
Yeah.
your 6-figure job.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything for it, but here you go.
Yeah.
Home.
But they also think everyone cares about their fucking mental health. Like, listen, a job cares about their fucking bottom line. They care about their profits. They don't care about what you got going on in your personal life. Like that's something that we understood as you know, millennials, that these motherfuckers really got to understand. They don't give a fuck about you. They will replace you in a goddamn heartbeat. You are just a number to them. Like, if you don't contribute to their bottom line, you are nothing. And
But
the fact that you think you are something is,
to play devil's advocate, though, maybe they look at it like this job doesn't care about me, so maybe I should just look out for myself.
okay, that's why you dumbasses getting fired. So cool. Now go on unemployment and go sell some meth. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I like, cool. Like, everybody's winning now because now they pick a millennial who's serious about that shit, and now they go get to sell crystal meth. Cool. Like,
Not crystal.
all right, listen, let me know what y'all think, family. Are we tripping? Are we just the old heads tripping on the podcast or what? Like, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.